waiting for him there.
Getting back to Barcelona, I discovered that a deep change had come over the town. The revolutionary atmosphere had vanished. Once again it was an ordinary city with no outward signs of working-class predominance. The normal division of the city into rich and poor, upper and lower class, was reasserting itself.
And the people responsible? The communists.
Although officially the militia's allies, Spain's Communist Party was deeply alarmed by the rise of democratic freedom in Barcelona's workers' state. In May 1937, as Orwell met up with Eileen, the city was bracing itself for a communist-led counter-revolution.
I heard some rifle shots behind me. I turned around and saw some youths with rifles in their hands and red and black handkerchiefs round their throats. I thought instantly, it started.
The next 3 days and nights I spent continuously on the roof of a cinema.
I was in no danger. I suffered nothing worse than hunger and boredom.
The official death toll during the May riots was 400. When it was over, the communists controlled Barcelona. Militiamen were ordered to quit the city or become good communists.
I could not join any communist-controlled unit. It might mean being used against the Spanish working class. One could not tell when this kind of thing would break out again, and if I was to use my rifle at all in such an affair, I would use it on the side of the working class, not against them.
Orwell returned to his militia unit at the front. At dawn, on the 20th of May, Orwell relieved his American colleague Harry Milton from guard duty.
It was a beautiful sunrise. He stuck his head over the parapet, which was very dangerous. Then I heard a shot, and he toppled over. I put his head in my arms, and when I put my hand under his neck, there was a puddle of blood. He was shot through the neck.
The bullet passed right through, just missing a major artery. Weakened by TB, Orwell was very vulnerable to severe trauma. A year later, he was still recuperating in a British sanatorium.
Oh, the whole experience of being hit by a bullet is very interesting. In fact, I think it's worth describing in some detail. Roughly speaking, it is the sensation of being at the center of an explosion. A loud bang, and then a blinding flash of light all around me, and I felt a tremendous shock. No pain, just a violent shock, such as you get from an electric terminal. With it, a sense of being stricken and shriveled up to nothing. There must have been about 2 minutes during which I assumed I was killed, which was interesting. My first thought, conventionally enough, was for my wife. My second thought was a violent resentment at having to leave this world, which, when all is said and done, suits me so well. The stupid mischance of it infuriated me, the meaninglessness of it.
A month after being shot, Orwell was walking wounded, back in Barcelona with discharge papers in his pocket. But the city had become dangerous for militiamen. The communists, following the orders of their Soviet backers, demanded absolute allegiance. It was subversive even to think ill of the party. Orwell was getting his first taste of totalitarianism. It was all the more shocking because it came from former allies on the left.
For some time, a reign of terror was in progress. Police spies were everywhere. The jails were still crammed with prisoners left over from the May fighting. and others were disappearing into jail by ones and twos. So far as one could discover, no one was ever tried or even charged. You were simply flung into jail and kept there, usually incommunicado. Practically everyone we knew was in jail by this time.
Eileen was wonderful. In fact, actually seemed to enjoy it. It was a queer business. We started off by being heroic defenders of democracy and ended up slipping over the border with the police panting at our heels. We were very lucky to get out of Spain alive.
The Spanish War turned the scale, and thereafter I knew where I stood. Every line of serious work that I've written since 1936 has been written, directly or indirectly, against totalitarianism. In a more peaceful age, I might have written ornate or merely descriptive books. As it is, I've been forced into becoming a sort of pamphleteer.
His campaign was against every form of totalitarianism. But Orwell was not fully fit again until 1939. By then, Franco had won the Spanish Civil War, and Nazi Germany was threatening much of Europe.